Everybody. So happy to have you all here. I am Holly Copeland of Heart Mind Alchemy, and I am leading conversations around meditation, consciousness, neuroscience, and technology. And so it's perfect today that I have with us Grace Zheng from Flowtime. Flowtime's a wearable headset, meditation headset that I have been using in the past few weeks, thanks to Grace. And I'm super excited to have Grace here. She is Flowtime's Marketing and Operations Director. And so welcome, Grace, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here.
I am super excited to have you here. Grace, I'm really excited to talk to you because you're a mom, and in your bio, you talk about meditation, helping people who are feeling burnt out and stressed. So I really want to get into your experience, your personal experience with meditation, and how Flowtime can help, or meditation in general, and meditation assisted with Flowtime can help, because there's so many people in your situation, busy moms and dads who are stressed and burnt out and looking for ways to feel better. And so I think you might be able to help.
Yeah, I have two little kids, and one of them, the big one, my daughter, is about 5, and the little one is about 3. So all of them are like too young to understand what I mean, and sometimes they make a mess or they have a fight with each other, and I was like, what I should do? Like for new mom, it's a bit hard to cope with this kind of conflict. But after I practice meditation, I may feel that it's a challenge for me, but the most important thing is to calm down. And if I'm burnt out, I cannot cooperate with a good relationship with them. So I think the mindfulness philosophy, it's like tell me how to calm me down and find the peaceful way to deal with the challenges, no matter with the challenges from work or from my from raising children.
And I think what you're pointing to is a meditation as a way to help us. It's not just on the cushion, as we say, be in a peaceful place, but actually, how do we take it off the cushion? How do we take it into our lives so that we can be peaceful and calm for our children or our work colleagues and friends?
Yeah, it's like how like most of my time is bring the philosophy into a daily life. But I do find that after the practice, for 10-minute sessions, to relax the body or to fully focus on the tasks at hand. After the session, I do feel the kind of relief, also a kind of calm, peaceful, and I can go back to the work or to something that I really need some fully focus on.
Great. Well, we'll go more into detail about that, I think, a little later, but I just want to maybe circle back just to tell us a little bit about how did you get involved with Flowtime, a meditation wearable headset? And you're in China. I didn't say that. Grace is located in China, and Flowtime's a Chinese company, which is a pretty big market. So I imagine that you have a lot of users, especially in China. It feels like it hasn't quite gotten the foothold in the US as much as maybe China, but just tell us a little bit about how you got started in Flowtime.
It's like we are a startup, and the co-founders are my classmates from high school, and when we are in the same university in Zhejiang University. And when I was in my, I was finishing my master degree, I coincidentally I met him in a innovation competition that is held by Zhejiang University and the Singapore National University. And at that time, I was the translator of a professor, and there I found my friends in the competition, and they have and he had a great performance there. And after that, we talked about their company and the things he wanted to do. At that time, they actually have the first product is the mind control racing car, and they also collect the brainwaves like to measure how focused the children is, and then the more focused the car runs faster. And after that, we have Flowtime, because start running a company is not so easy, and especially for a young student. At that time, he's not a student, but for a young man, like it's too young to run a company in the real world. Like as a student, we have these theories and have these understanding.
I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if people can hear me or not. From my end, Grace dropped out. And so we will wait to see if she comes back. It looks like maybe she lost her Wi-Fi. Sorry, everybody. I thought it was me because my internet is not so great sometimes. I think it's Grace. I have been using, while I'm waiting for her, I've been using Flowtime for the past couple of weeks, and it's interesting to compare Flowtime with Muse. I really like some of the basic features. I like that the brainwave recordings are right there in the application, that you don't have to jump out of the application into a third-party application to see your brainwave readouts. So really like that. And also it records breath coherence. And so that has been interesting to track it as well. And it has been noted on the HeartMind community, the brainwave, it looks like the algorithms are a little different from Muse. And so it reads a little higher theta. I'm not sure that really makes a difference. I think that the most important thing when we're tracking brainwaves anyway is to note your overall trends over time, not any specific levels of alpha or theta, but to look for yourself to see how those brainwaves are changing over time. That's where actually the real value of these brainwave measuring devices is. And in fact, it's a question that comes up a lot on the HeartMind community. People ask, especially new people, what does this graph mean? Oh, here's Grace coming back in. And my answer is always, well, in any given graph, you need to start by just paying attention and observing these graphs over time. Hi, Grace. Looks like maybe we lost you there for a few minutes.
Yeah, like my computer just turned off.
Oh, okay. Well, we're glad to have you back. I don't see your picture yet. There we go. Okay. Well, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No problem.
missing for a few minutes.
No problem at all. You were just talking about how you were helping your friend who he'd been measuring brain waves and sounded like entered a contest. And I was taking great interest. You were saying that in this contest, they were making brain waves, making a car move based on how focused your brain waves were. Is that right?
Yeah. And it's like for the children, like that's the first project we made, and they realized that it's hard to deal with the challenges when they run the company. So meditation is truly a way for them to balance the conflict, to help them cope with the challenges they made. And also we find this data may help, for beginners, it's hard to keep on practice meditation. And I don't know how I feel, and it's kind of hard to describe a feeling. And that kind of feeling, that kind of uncertainty may prevent us to keep on practice, and then we may cannot enjoy the benefit meditation brings us. So we have the initial to combine the technology with meditation. It's like bring meditation into a new world, like how to use the technology, our data, to help people better understand what is going on in our body and in our mind.
Right. Yeah, I really appreciate what you're saying. And when I first got into meditation in a regular way about 3 years ago, that was what technology did for me. Then it was the Muse, but it's just what you're saying. It's that actually having some feedback. So you have this isn't just a black box in here, but you have some sense of, are you doing it right? Because what does a quiet mind even feel like? And when you haven't meditated before, it's hard to know actually what calm, quiet mind even is. And I feel like the devices give us a benchmark that's very, very helpful. Is that your experience?
Yes. Like the data actually help me understand. Like it's like I find that after a regular breathing, like for 5 minute inhale and 5 second inhale and 5 second exhale, like if I focus my attention on breathing itself, and the regular breathing makes my heart rate goes periodically as well, and that kind of feeling is really relaxing. So I'm so excited that the headband will tell me about that.
Right, the headband giving it's like somebody can just tell you to breathe in and breathe out at a certain rate, and you can feel yourself calm down, and that's great. That's obviously good. But if you have the device that shows that measure, that level of calm, that's even better, right?
Yeah.
So you had this friend who was a student who developed this but didn't really know anything about running a company, and that's where you stepped in to help him out. Is that right?
Yeah, and mainly for that, at that time they are building the product, but we spend a lot of time develop and optimize the product itself. But the second thing is how to bring the amazing product to more people and help more people. It's like what I think maybe I can help them to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the more people, I think a lot of people don't even know that this technology exists, right? They're not even aware that this is here that could help them.
Yeah.
And so what is the growth path of Flowtime? How has it, and then I want to get to the newer device that you have coming out as well. But so we'll talk about that. They have a tDCS device coming out. But how is Flowtime doing in China and across the world?
In China, like we actually not so many people practice meditation in their daily life, like people in America. Actually, but there are many seminars, or we call conference in China, held in some temples, or like some Zen masters in China. So they will gather together to meditation in a room, in a very in a great environment, like in the garden or in the mountain. Like we have a lot of hotel, that resort that built in a beautiful mountain. So they will get together to enjoy the environment and practice together. And at that time, the technology brings them to feel the charming of technology and the meditation itself.
Yeah. So there are some. So in China itself, what I'm hearing you say is meditation is actually not as common, or people are practicing maybe as in America and the rest of the world. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's not that common in our daily life. Like when I talk with my friends, like they heard that, but many of them have practiced that or even practice them every day.
Yeah, it's so interesting, right? Because the traditions of China go, I mean, meditation is at the heart of the, like Taoist practices, Tao Te Ching, which came from China. And, so there is actually a long history in the history of China of the importance of working with the mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it hasn't come over to modern life as much, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yes, we have that tradition and have that spirit in our heart, but the form itself maybe is different. Like we, especially during some time, like our holidays or in the beginning of the new year, we may do such kind of to like in hoping our new year, or in hoping something different, or bring maybe in some special occasions we have this kind of spirit in our mind, and we bring out that kind of spirit, and but not in daily life. Like some daily life is buried in those daily routines, and we would spare little time to do such a like a 10-minute session every day to release ourselves, and also to like thank others, like thank our families. So this is also what we would to help more people to realize that it's also necessary to do this kind of session every day. Besides, like in the New Year's, or in we have some special festivals that may remind us to remembering our families, remembering our Asian. So besides those festivals, so we think it's important to do daily routines of meditation every day. Even a 10-minute session is okay.
Right. Well, you have it baked deep in your culture. So hopefully that will be brought forth as we go into the future. You know, so that's really wonderful. So jumping over a little bit to the hardware of Flowtime, when you were off, I was talking, I used the time as a monologue to talk a little bit about how the devices and brainwave tracking can be used and helpful. I have not explored all the features of Flowtime. And so can you, just going back to the basics a little bit, can you describe, like, when you're, if you were, you know, on a train with somebody and you have a minute to just tell them about Flowtime, what do you say about the technical features of Flowtime?
The most thing I would to focus on is the your baseline and your goal. Like if you have a 10-minute session of relaxation, and after that you find your score is like median of relaxation and the low attention, and I thought that would the baseline of yourself. And if you, after long-term practice, and you can increase the level of relaxation, which means you have some progress. But for the most important thing is, do you really feel relaxed after you practice the session? If yes, that is a very good start. And after that, we would focus on the little by little steps that you should practice every day to make the habit a routine, so you may get the most benefit of meditation itself. And also the that was the technology, the data means, like, to help you keep on the practice.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you're saying about that baseline and just seeing the improvement. And it's one thing that I like about Flowtime, that it divides your meditation at the end. You get a score on your relaxation level and your focus level. And those are two very different aspects of meditation. You know, your ability to focus and concentrate, which is so important, builds that prefrontal cortex, helps with emotional regulation, with calm, clarity, and memory, sleep, so many things from focus. And then relaxation, which is a different skill, which is being able to, you know, go into that alpha, you know, gentle, open state of sort of open mindfulness. So they are two very different aspects of meditation, but both very important. So I like that Flowtime measures those two things. How did that decision?
Amazing thing is that, as you say, there are two different aspects of meditation, but it's so surprised when we saw some experienced meditation, they both got high score of attention and relaxation. So we are very curious, like, what kind of meditation is this? It can also have a high score of relaxation, a high score of attention.
You can have both at the same time. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
So someone got that.
Yes, right. Because that's deeply focused, but very relaxed at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, I cannot do that, I think.
Yeah, so far I'm still in my working on focus as well. So the same, I have can get very high relaxation scores pretty easily, but focus is something I'm working on. Yeah. But I appreciate that Flowtime actually has both those metrics in one device. I think that's really great that they did that. And then also that it has breath coherence, or that it measures breath rate. That's really great too. Yeah. So I'd love to hear about the new device that Flowtime has coming on the market. Can you talk a little bit about it?
The new company, tDCS. I have one here.
Oh, great! Tell us about it.
Yeah. So you can see, like, we redesigned the outlook of yourself. So you can just put on. It's very simple to put on the target market, target area, like is the LPFC here. And also if you want to try the motor cortex. And also we have the redesign, like how to adjust the different head shapes. We have the arms here that can be extended. So it would fit different head shapes here. Also this one is like it can be adjusted a little bit to slightly fit into different heads. And like we have the sponges here is just to put on it on the rings and put this magnetic rings back and pad the electronics are down. So it's very simple to use that, and we think it may save the time that if we want to use it, because I have it in my office, and every day when I feel tired or I would like to focus on my a hard task at hand, I would use it to bring my to improve my performance. So as a mom, like it's hard to balance the work and the life. So when I was in the office, I would like to focus on my attention on the task, on the work, and on everything I need to do in my office. And after that, I would like to play with my children. So I have to finish my work in office better. So it would also help me to do that. So we think that these products like Flowtime headband and Flowtime tDCS, these things are really free us from those like not so ideal conditions, and we can do better.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, the device that she just showed is a tDCS device. Not everybody knows what that is. It's transcranial dermal stimulation. Yes, cranial stimulation. And it's a weak electrical pulse that energizes certain parts of your brain. And that stimulation helps with things like emotional regulation, so mood or focus, that are controlled from the prefrontal cortex. Did I get that right? Is there anything you want to add to that?
You have the perfect understanding of the tDCS.
Okay.
So do you like these technologies?
What's that?
Do you like these technology? How do you think it would help you?
I have not used a tDCS device, so I'm so I'm excited to try it. I know other people in the community, in HeartMind community, use those frequently. And of all the things I've tried, it's not one of the ones that I've had a chance to buy one of those devices, but from reports from other people, they can be really helpful. The closest thing that I've used to that is like pulsed electromagnetic, like a PEMF device, like NeoRhythm, for example. And that one, like I've noticed a gentle focus with. So I'm really curious to see how this device will compare with a device like NeoRhythm.
Yeah, like we have a team to research into tDCS, like how its performance in all kind of researches. Like if we Google it, you can see so many papers about it. And mainly our research team look into it and to find out how like whether why some researchers find that the technology may be not so effective compared with the others. And we try to make these products that is effect. First is effect. We will do effective. First, we will make sure that these like the area, the target area and the current stance and also the safety measurement that are almost the same as you can see in the laboratory. Because our research team came from Zhejiang University library, so they have a higher standard of themselves to make these products. So we want to make sure that this tDCS headset is truly meets the strict standard, also as you can see in the library. Okay, I have the other one.
There's your son. Oh, so great to see him. So you're really working on high standards and the research and literature to come up with a device that follows the literature and best practices. That's what I understand from what you just said. Yeah. Fantastic. And how would you describe when you use it for focus, like for work or something like that? Does it feel like you just drank a cup of tea or coffee, or how would you describe the feeling of it? What do you notice?
Yeah, I do have coffee every day as well, but that is not kind of the same thing. Sometimes after some coffee, like actually my body is tired. Like, sometimes I may have bad sleep because of their crying or not sleeping so well at night. So I will have a bad sleep as well. In the daytime, if I have a cup of coffee, like my body is tired, but my mind is like, it's not so clear, but it's not cozy at all. So, but tDCS is kind of different. Like when I'm writing an article, like before tDCS, I have a random mind, like ideas goes and comes here and then disappear. So I have not a very clue what to write. But after I put on tDCS, it's like bring all kinds of ideas into words. Like I know how to write those sentences one by one. So like I can finish the articles much effective than I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I love what you're saying, because like, it's like coffee is more, it makes your body tired and it just sort of amps you up like with this energy. But what tDCS appears to do is actually connect the network of your brain in different ways. So like, as you were talking about how words, come in more readily writing an article, what I see and feel is that the part of your brain, that is connected to the language centers, on the left hemisphere, for example, like all of a sudden that tDCS gives you access to those language centers because of that electrical activity. And so it isn't just like having a cup of coffee, it's actually connecting up your brain so that you have access to parts of your brain that you may not have access to without, which is so cool, right?
Yeah.
Because ideally, if, I write articles all the time, and it's like the block is actually, the information's in there, but you want those connections to be made so that all of the vast intelligence we have is actually accessible when we sit down to write the article or sit down to have an important conversation, right? Or give a talk or something. Yeah. And it is there. It's just our brains working well enough to access it. And tDCS, is that super connecting so that we can actually operate at our full potential that we were meant to operate at. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but like for me is writing articles. But for my colleagues, they are like writing code or like play piano, and they also use that for workout. So It's a kind of very interesting environment here. Like we have so many engineers, and few of them are like marketing like me. So it's very interesting to work with different kind of personality colleagues. Like they are the engineers, like geeky engineers.
I know about geeky engineers. I used to live with one, so absolutely. Well, let's see. So when is that product going to be available, Grace?
We have these two production in December, and likely we are going to have mass production in January. That January is our calendar New Year, so it's our Chinese New Year. So maybe the shipment will be a little bit late, like in early February.
Great. So February. So we'll have to sort of wait and see. And I'm just really excited to try it out. Absolutely. Well, I especially love, circling back to where we started with this conversation, just about how you describe your own path and what drew you to meditation to help people who are burnout, who are leading busy lives, who have kids, and who want to use meditation to help how they respond to their children. How do they respond to their, loved ones, family members in a calmer, clearer way? And it feels like you are a wonderful example of that because you're in the thick of it, as we can see with your children. You're leading the busy life. And I guess, do you have any other, before we draw to a close, words of wisdom or something that you might want to share with people in terms of meditation and this path and the devices, whatever you feel like sharing?
I would like to introduce like two sentences maybe I feel have the biggest impact on me. The first one is to kind to myself, like love myself. Because if I'm angry with myself, like I'm a so bad mom, like I always do a mess with the children. Like when they cried, I have no idea how to deal with them. But after I practice meditation, I'm kind of realize that the most important thing is for myself to be calm, to be peaceful, and loving myself, allowing myself to be like burnt out and have some kind of negative feelings. It's okay. But the second thing, like the second sentence I would do, is to control the things I could control and let it go if I cannot control some other things. Like if they have a conflict with each other, the things I could control is maybe help them to calm down and ask what was going on. And sometimes maybe the things is not I cannot fix it, but maybe can ask them for help, like what caused this the result, and what do you think you can do it better next time. And sometimes their answers may inspire me or surprise me. They are also capable of what to do better. It's not all they can do better, inspire I have a bad idea or not. I could trust them, and these are the things I could control. If others, like I would think, what if they will have a conflict the next time? That is not the things I could control, so I may let it go.
Yeah, such beautiful wisdom. And both of your points resonate so strongly with me. you know, both knowing thyself and loving yourself, you know, from the deepest place. Because when we come, what I call it is like coming home to ourselves, when we actually really come home to ourselves and love ourselves, then we find this wholeness or this loving place from which that's not broken, like we're not broken inside, that we're actually this whole loving self and being. And if we operate from there, then we can just extend love to those that we interact with, our children, our spouses, our friends, right? And meditation helps us find that. A meditation is like a way to come back, come home to yourself. Yeah. And then just also your second point too. And both beautiful. That's just the most beautiful wisdom. Thank you so much for your sharing. I think
it's my honor to share my experience with you.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's super. You're such an inspiration. I so appreciate the work that you're doing and the team at Flowtime is doing with the headset, now with the tDCS coming online. And I just really wish you and the entire team the very best. And thank you so much for coming on Heart Mind Alchemy live and sharing a little wisdom with us and sharing about the products.
Thank you so much for inviting me here, and I admire you so much. Like you do a lot, sharing things in the group, and also you help people here to answer their questions, and help them to have a better self. It's kind of amazing thing. Like I can never imagine I could do this every day.
Right? I know that's how I feel. Like I get to do this every day. It feels really good, doesn't it? To just help people every day with this. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Honestly, the honor is mine to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I wish you all the best. Thank you, everybody who's been watching, for being here. And I wish you just tons of love and mind of clarity and calm and joyful heart for your rest of your day and through the weekend. So just blessings and love.
Yeah, beautiful weekend.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.